What is up, guys? My name is the Tech Vader, and today I have a long-awaited review of the Scuf controller. This specifically is the Scuf Ravage. It is a special edition Scuf controller modeled after Sandy Ravage, and if you could see, there are a few flaws in the controller that I want to talk about right at the beginning. But first, before I could start that, let me say this. I am not in any way, shape, or form sponsored by Scuf controllers. I'm not making any money off of them by this video, nor am I making any money off of YouTube by this video, and this is not a video in which I will only talk about the pros of the Scuf controller, even though there are many more than there are odds. So let's get right to it right now. The first flaw that you guys can see is that the rubber on my thumbstick actually came off. I'm not sure if that was entirely my fault or if it was just wear and tear on the controller, but it came off, and I wasn't really too happy about that, but I've gotten used to it now and it doesn't make that much of a big deal on me. I used to have PS3 thumbsticks on this controller before that kind of ripped off. The PS3 thumbsticks are much better than Xbox thumbsticks in my opinion. It helps your accuracy and just overall much better. You can see I've weighted out buttons and nothing really special on the front of this controller except this thing right there, and this is called a KontrolFreek. I will be making a separate review on the KontrolFreek entirely itself, but let's just say it is an amazing product. Now, the whole big pluses of the Scuf controller on the back, and I'm going to show you that right now. So starting off right here, you can see a little something on the back of the triggers, and what those are called are trigger stops. And what this allows me to do is in a game like Black Ops 2, when there is a semi-automatic gun, I can make this go down more with a wrench screw. I don't know if you can see that right there, but you put in a wrench right there and you push the stick down farther, and what that will allow you to do is it will take less time for you to aim in and also less time for you to shoot, and that could be a huge advantage, and that could be the difference in whether or not you win your gunfight. Now, the next biggest thing I want to talk about are the back paddles. Now, these back paddles have literally changed my gaming experience over the past year and a half, I would say. I've gone from being a pretty moderate player to an well above average player. What this is they allow you to configure any button that was on the front of your controller to the back of your controller. So for example, this one right here, A and B. So what that allows me to do is that allows me to jump shot without taking my hands off the aim and shoot button, and this is B, which allows me to panic knife. I play on tactical, so this does not allow me to prone. If I did play on default, that would be pretty awesome. On my back and front, it would allow me to jump shot and drop shot, but I don't really need that in Black Ops 2 because jump shotting is a lot better. Another big thing to talk about right here is I don't have the battery pack. I actually have the wired controller. My hands are pretty big, and what happens is the battery pack actually messes up with where I want to place my hands. So I try to stay away from wireless controllers. And anyways, wired controllers are pretty much easier because you never have to go and run for batteries in the middle of the game. So next thing I want to talk about is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it so well, but there's like a military style grip on this controller, and what that does is it keeps your hands from sweating and sliding so much on the controller, and that really helps if you're in a tough situation and you have some sweaty hands. It keeps your hands on the controller. Now, before I go any further with this controller, I'm just going to say right off that this is not banned by MLG, nor is it banned online. In fact, this controller is pretty much everyone uses it in the MLG circuit. Scuf sponsors fariko and Optic, two very big teams that I know of. And this is by no means a cheating controller or a modded controller. Now, what I'm going to talk about now with this controller is the price range. This controller itself costed about $119, I'm pretty sure, and that's a pretty hefty price for a controller. I'm gonna admit that right now. If you are not a serious gamer and you do not have the motivation to become better at the game, then I would not suggest this controller for you. It's not going to be a controller for you. This controller is for someone who's looking to take their game to the next level, or whose game already is at the next level but needs, let's say, for example, to become better at jump shotting or drop shotting. I have a friend who can't jump shot, and he's on my team for competitive gaming, and I keep on telling him to get this controller, but the problem with it is that it's very expensive. So now guys, I'm just gonna rate it out of 5 stars, and I will give this a 4.5. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 because this is probably the best controller on the market, especially for competitive gaming. If you're looking to have an edge on your opponents, then you will definitely have it with this controller, with the trigger stops and with the back pedals. The only thing I've noticed is a little bit above average wear and tear on this controller compared to a normal controller. For example, that right there, I've never had that happen on any other controller in my life, but that is actually the only con of this controller that I've heard of, and for me specifically. The back paddles and the trigger stops have made my life pretty much spoiled, and if I ever have to go back to a normal controller, I honestly couldn't say I would do it. So I'm just gonna say thank you, Scuf, for coming out with such a great controller. This really has changed my gaming experience, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description to their website. Everyone who's looking to take a step forward in their gaming career should go and get this. I know it's expensive, but if you don't have the money, you could send in your own controller and they will scuff it up for you, essentially. So guys, hope you enjoyed the review. If you have any questions about this product, leave it down in the comments below. Again, the price range is anywhere from about $90 to $130, and if you want to just send in your own, it's about $50. Talk to you guys later. Bye.